Hello everyone, you're welcome to the Muscology TV, and our topic today is Introduction to IT Service Management, ITIL. If you'd like to see more of this content, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share. We promise to bring you more educational content relating to IT and service delivery. Do not forget to also follow us on our TikTok account in case you miss some of our contents on YouTube and vice versa. Right, let's go straight into it. IT Service Management, a comprehensive guide. IT Service Management is a set of best practices for managing IT services, ensuring they meet business needs. When we say best practices, we mean set of rules, principles, or in a more corporate level, we refer to these practices as framework. So framework generally gives you the set by set guide and process to carry out a particular task to achieve a particular goal and objective. And our goal here, which IT Service Management or ITIL is enabling us to do, is to follow this framework of practices. So when managing IT services and ensuring that they meet the business objectives. The ITIL framework. Now the name of this framework is called ITIL, which means IT Infrastructure Library. It is a widely recognized framework that provides a structured approach to IT service management. And these approaches, we have five of them: service strategy, service design, service transition, service operation, and continual service improvement. Right now, before we dive straight into it, I would like to briefly explain what service is all about. Service is a product that you offer to customers or users of a particular product or a service. In a nutshell, service is a product that is consumed by customers or users of that particular service or of that particular product. We can also say that a service is provided by a service provider and consumed or used by a service consumer or the service user, as the case may be. Now, service strategy. Service strategy focuses on aligning IT services with business goals and objectives. How do we align IT services with business goals and objectives? We do so basically by using IT services as business enablers, by using IT services as business drivers to achieve certain business objectives, right? So, in the civilized world today, in the corporate world today, all businesses are driven with or are driven by IT enablers, IT services. And IT services can come in different forms. IT services can come in the form of applications. IT services can come in the form of infrastructure. IT services can come in the form of um, IT requirements, IT products. So these are different forms with which IT services can come in. So you can um, now see how IT services serve as enablers to achieving business goals and objectives. That is under service strategy. It is a strategy which is being used, you know, for for which is being used by business to achieve their goals by applying or aligning IT services within their systems. Now, service design. Service design has to do with designing and planning IT services to meet defined requirements, right? So, service design approach focuses more on the method in which you plan your services, you design your services to meet a particular requirement by the business. Okay, you don't just roll out services without planning. You don't just roll out services without designing it or planning it with the specified requirements of the business. All right, because at the end of the day, it defeats the purpose of the business. It defeats the purpose or the requirements of the business without this particular approach. Service transition. Service transition has to do with implementing and managing changes to IT services. You know, in the corporate world today, IT services are bound for changes, right? Because the business needs changes on a daily basis. The business needs changes per time, and you need to be able to improve on your IT services to be able to meet business requirements, because business requirements changes every day, every day, and you need to have a proper service transition plan. How do you have a proper service transition plan? You have a proper service transition plan by planning your changes, documenting your changes, and tracking your changes, right? What this helps to do is that within the transitioning of these services, at one particular change to the other, right? What it does is that at any point in time where there are concerns or challenges, it helps you narrow down on the resolution of those challenges when you properly manage and track these service transitions or these service changes. Now, service operation. Service operation focuses on the day-to-day support and management of these IT services. Now, IT services are being provided to users and customers on a day-to-day activity, on a day-to-day basis, right? How do you sustain these services that are being provided every day to the customers or to the business? The only way you sustain this business is by providing service operation, adequate service operation, right? Which has to do with day-to-day support, daily support of customer inquiries, customer complaints, and customers' requests, daily support of these IT services and of these IT services, to ensure that the business goal is sustainable, right? Is maintained in a particular pattern, is maintained and sustained, over a particular period of time. Because if you do not sustain these services via operationalizing the services to the customer, providing daily support, providing daily guidance, providing daily feedbacks to customers' requests and complaints, you you are liable to run down the business. Now, continuous service improvement talks about continuously evaluating and improving on IT service performance. All right. Once you have a product that customers are consuming, it is bound that it is important that you continually evaluate this service, this product. You continually evaluate this product. Is it meeting the business objective? Are we still satisfying our customers? From the feedbacks that you are getting from the service operation, approach, based on that, you need to be able to now continually carry out an evaluation process to continually improve the customers based on the feedbacks that you are getting from customers and from the business. Service level agreements. Service level agreements are formal agreements that define the level of service expected for each IT service, and this cuts across availability, performance, and security. Availability is ensuring that and guaranteeing your customers that your products Your services will be uptime and accessible by them at every point in time. Okay, so this is an agreement that is reached, that is manifested between the service provider and the service user. The service user is the customer or the business or the service consumer, while the service provider is the entity providing the service, providing the product, providing the application for the usage of the customer, and ensuring that these agreements are not breached. If a service provider has promised uptime availability of service to the customer, and from the customer's usage of that service, the customer is not satisfied, as a result of not being able to access the IT service, that's a breach of service level agreement between the service provider and the customer. Now, performance specifies the metrics, in terms of the performance of the IT services, such as throughput and response time. Okay, if a service is not is the service might be available to the customers, but maybe the response time is very slow. The response time per time for every access to that customer, it is so slow. You are trying to load a particular application and it's taking you hours to come up. So that is a form of service level agreement breach between the customer and the service level provider in terms of performance. In terms of security, this is ensuring that there is service level agreement in terms of security, defining security measures and ensuring that customer data and information is secured on that service, is secured on that platform. If customers data integrity and information is not protected, is not secured on these platforms or on these services, then that is a breach of agreement between the service provider and the customer. That is why it is very important in today's age and time that for every service provider must ensure that you implement cyber security, implement a very good cyber security, ensuring that there's enough security on your applications, on your platforms, on your services to avoid security breaches. Incident management. Incident management involves identifying, logging, and resolving incidents that disrupt IT services. Nowadays, we have situations where, things happen and IT services are disrupted. Customers are not able to access their services. Customers are not able to access the services provided by the service provider as a result of a lot of things, right? And what incident management helps to do is to put in place procedures that helps to identify these incidents, prioritize the incidents, and then resolve the incidents. Incident logging captures details about each incident that has been reported by the customer to the service provider for tracking and analysis. In this case, the service provider ensures that they put in place a proper management system that identifies these incidents and track them for required analysis. Incident prioritization. The service provider ensures that these incidents that have been identified for tracking and analysis are properly prioritized based on impact and urgency. Under incident resolution, the service provider ensures that there is proper management of resolving incidents that have been reported through troubleshooting, repairs, brainstorming, or workarounds. Under incident resolution, the service provider ensures that proper investigation is carried out to resolve or provide absolute resolution to customers' incidents. Problem management. Problem management focuses on identifying and addressing the root causes of recurring incidents. Problem a problem is a situation where a particular incident keeps reoccurring. What that means is that if an incident has if an incident keeps reoccurring time and time and time again, it means it is no longer an incident, it is now a problem. Okay, and how do we resolve a problem under problem management? We resolve a problem under problem management by investigating the underlying cause of this problem. The service provider ensures that there is absolute problem management system in place that investigates underlying causes of this problem. You know, uh, it figures out the root cause of these problems and provides a permanent fix. Change management controls and manages changes to IT services to minimize risks and disruptions. Now, there are various steps f- to change management implementation, that has to be in place by the service provider. One is change request. There has to be a formal request to modify an IT service. Two is change assessment, evaluating the impact and risk of the proposed change. You don't just carry out a change, right? What change management does is that it helps to, first of all, evaluate the impact of the proposed change. It evaluates it that if it evaluates the proposed change, if it is going to have a negative impact or risk on the whole organization or a positive impact on the whole organization. That is why a formal request to modify any IT service or any asset within the organization has to come up first with an approval, then followed by the change assessment that does the evaluation. Then a change approval is gotten after the change assessment is done and the evaluation is done and finalized. The change approval is gotten, where authorizing the change based on the risk assessment and impact analysis. Upon the impact analysis and risk assessment that has been carried out from the evaluation, then an authorization and approval is gotten. Change implementation. After the approval, implementing the change in a controlled and planned manner is established. Change closure. Completing the change process and documenting the outcomes, ensuring that the change that is being carried out is done and implemented by applying all the governance processes, ensuring that no process is undone, ensuring that change request is formally done, change assessment is formally carried out, change approval is formally done, and the change implementation is carried out in a controlled manner. Service catalog. A service catalog is a comprehensive repository of all IT services offered by an organization. The service catalog is a document, is a repository that contains all IT services, all IT assets of the organization for proper tracking and management. This service catalog contains what some of the information contained in the service catalog are the service descriptions, the service level agreements, pricing and ordering, service impact, service priority, and so on and so forth. The service description details the information about the service, including its purpose, functionalities, and target audience. The service level agreements outlines the expected level of service for each service, including availability, performance, and security. Pricing and ordering information about service costs and how to order or request services. Knowledge management. Knowledge management involves collecting, organizing, and sharing IT related information to improve efficiency and problem solving. All right. Knowledge management focuses on establishing a knowledge base within the organization. Establishing a knowledge base within the organization, that is, a centralized repository of documented knowledge, including artifacts, FAQs, and best practices. Community forums, training and development, these are all parts of the knowledge management system in the ITIL service management. Thank you and see you in the next video.